You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Tuesday the 21st of January 2025. You are listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. Happy to report another productive day, and not just on the writing front. So what I needed to do today basically was to do the screen edit of chapter 39. Now chapter 39 is a really long chapter, so the one that I finished off last week was chapter 38. That was 7,000 words. This one is nearly 2,000 words longer at 9,000, and there's a lot happens in this chapter. It's kind of it's not quite the end, but it's almost the end, and some significant things happen in the chapter, kind of some major turning points in the story. In fact, I would argue that this is the chapter where the human race is saved. It's now just about saving the individuals that have enabled that to occur. But anyway, so I walked into town this morning. I walked into my favourite bookshop and ordered a couple of books, which is always a nice thing to be able to do. And then after that, I walked into my favourite coffee shop. Had like a delightful treacle tart for breakfast. Very bad, but very good as well. Haven't eaten much since, so that's fine. But yeah, I had this delightful treacle tart with a nice coffee for breakfast. And then once that was done, I managed to read through chapter 39 once, all the way through. And then I walked home, and then there were some other things I needed to do. So basically later on today, I had a man coming to measure up for some blinds that I want fitted. So I've got basically no curtains or anything in the kitchen, so it'd be quite nice to have something like that. At the same time, I need new blinds for the kitchen. Sorry, for the bathroom, because the ones in there are... Well, the man who fitted them, basically, it was too wide and they were made of wood, so he hacked at them with a bloody saw, and you can still see the rough edges where he sawed the ends off. It just looks shit, pardon French, and the mechanism has stopped working. So it's just an entirely awful piece of crap that needs removing. And then I finally want a blackout blind for my bedroom, a total blackout blind, so I can sleep during the day if I need to. And whilst they don't currently, the blind people I spoke to today, the blind shop, not the blind people, that came around today, don't have exactly what I'm after. They're looking to stock it later in the year. So I got him to measure it up now to save him coming back when what I wanted exactly became available. So that's good. So but the problem was the house is an absolute bin. Before I did that. So I gave the bathroom a thorough clean. I gave the kitchen a thorough clean, although the floor is still not where it needs to. I mean, it's where it needs to be in that it's under my feet, but it's not where it needs to be in terms of cleanliness. And I think what I'm going to have to do for the floor is a proper hands and knees scrub, which should then get it clean enough for me to maintain it with my steam mop. But yes, so I did all of that. So on and off today, I've been cleaning, tidying, throwing things away that have been cluttering up the place, because I'm not a hoarder in the sense of you can walk through my house without walking past piles of crap everywhere, but I am not very good at throwing things away. So for example, there was a Chinese, a panda from China, from, where was it, Chengdu, from the Panda Sanctuary, which is weighted so you can make it look like it's hanging off things. And I hung it off a lamp, and was quite lucky I didn't set fire to the house, because bits of it are now singed thanks to the heat of the bulb. But it had sentimental value because my friend Penny, who died last year, was there when I bought it. And I've been humming and hawing about throwing it away ever since. And then I remembered I've got one other thing that is a proper little memory of Penny. And if you've seen the article that I wrote when she died, you'll see we're both on this tandem bikes, wearing these big Singaporean hats that sort of protect ourselves from the sun. And I've got one of those. Well, I've got the one that we wore on that day out, or that I wore on that day out, and I know she kept hers as well, bless her. So that is a good enough object pathetic, isn't it? Object thing to kind of hold her memory in, and therefore I felt, long story short, I threw away the panda. Yeah, and then this afternoon I went and did a live stream and got another run of chapter 39 read through, and I'm changing less each time I go through it. So my plan is to go through it one more time this evening, probably not online, probably not on a live stream. Another time tomorrow morning in a coffee shop, definitely not on a live stream. And then tomorrow afternoon or evening to do what will hopefully be the screen edit, the final sign off of chapter 39. And that's brilliant if that's the case, because I'm a day ahead of schedule. On top of that, so after I tidied the house, I had a 1 hour slot for the guy to come in and measure the blinds. And obviously it was a 1 hour window that he could have come in, and I sort of sat there waiting for things to happen at the start of the window, and I thought, well, it could be another 60 minutes before he's here, so let's make use of this. So I also submitted, finally, the English Hikikomori to another agency. Now that's a win. However, I think I'd committed at the start of the month to submitting it to 3 more, to having 3 live submissions going on at once. But I've done one, and I shall look at doing another one tomorrow and another one on Thursday. So by Thursday, I will have that done. But that's real progress. So chapter 39 should be finished tomorrow. 2 of my 3 submissions should be done by tomorrow. The only goal I'm in danger of not reaching by the end of this month is to write my 60/40 crossover short story. That is probably the least important of the 3 goals. However, I am a day ahead of the writing of chapter 39. And chapter 40 is going to be quite complex, but also, like this one, I know exactly what's going to happen in it. So it's quite possible, especially if I can not have 3 days of doing nothing in the middle, it's quite possible I can get ahead, complete chapter 40 ahead of schedule, which will then leave me a few days at the end of the month to write the short story. I'm not going to break a massive sweat to do that, but if I can, I will. But yes, it's looking likely that I'll get chapter 40 done and the 3 submissions of the English Hikikomori done. So go me. Thank you for listening. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, to tell you that I've signed off chapter 39. Take care. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.